I just wasted 44,000 gallons of water. Yeah, let's get into it. What's going on? It is Jason. Yeah. Ariga, that's some mighty good coupette. I'm super stoked to get into the premise of this video because I'm talking about the elixir to life. And I'm not talking about coffee. Shocker, I know, but I'm actually talking about the true elixir to life, and that is water. Water is the thread that ties all life together. And water here where I live, because I live in a desert, is a very valuable commodity. But why? Why am I specifically talking about water? Well, I'm gonna get into it. There's three main reasons that I wanna go over. The first point is talking about the chaos that unraveled in my front yard. And then the second point is I got to do some work for a nonprofit here in Arizona. And then the third point is how water ties us all together and why is it so important to give back and do these initiatives and be good stewards of what we have. 44,000 gallons of water. Yeah, yes, 44,000 gallons. That's how much water I wasted this past month. That is enough to fill up 2 swimming pools, to hydrate 700 people for an entire year. But Jason, how did you not notice that you wasted 44,000 gallons of water? It wasn't until I actually got my utility bill, and yeah, it was close to $600, and I'm like, what the? On average, we use around 12 to 13,000 gallons of water a month. When I got that water bill for the amount that it was, I started to do an investigation. That's right, I turned into Sherlock Holmes. So we're gonna start today off with problem solving. That's right, solving some problems. And here is what the problem I'm facing. I have a water issue. I have a big water issue that is in the form of a broken water line.
I think I found the culprit, and this tree right here is not helping.
And what happened was the tree root kind of grew up and pushed down on the pipe and snapped the pipe. It was a very high pressure line, so that it was kicking out a crap ton of water. It's been doing that for over a month, 2 times a day. So therefore, that's how we wasted 44,000 gallons of water. Dang, this is gonna be a challenge. I don't have that skill set. It's not like part of my DNA. I wouldn't even consider it to be handy. I went to Home Depot, got the items that I needed, and I got to work. Well, it was a little rough.
Well, that didn't go as planned, and I think I just made it worse. So I cut too much of the pipe off. Now I have no way for the coupling to hold on to anything, so yeah, that's where we're at.
I'm going to see if I can put something here and a pipe there.
Going back to Home Depot to get some parts. I think I got what I need. Set up some lights maybe, do it in the dark. How about that? That sounds fun. At least I get it done and I'm not in the heat or the sun, so how about we do that? I think I dug enough. Now the goal is to get stuff cleaned up, glue these pipes on and see if we went ahead and fixed the leak. I got it sealed there. Now I gotta cut that pipe and seal that one on. And see if that fixes the issue. Alright, it's sloppy, but it's on there. I'm gonna let this stuff dry and then come back out and test it out. I'm gonna go research how long it takes to let this stuff sit and dry. So it's in the morning. It's time to go check our work. See if this is gonna work. Okay, she's not pretty, but she fixed. I'm so proud of myself right now, it's awesome. I'm just gonna go on record saying this.
The only reason I was able to fix that water line is because of the beard. The beard somehow gave me magical powers to do things that I normally can't do. When the situation happened with the broken water line and I noticed that, I wasted 44,000 gallons of water, that felt like a crisis to me. But it's nothing compared to what's happening to the wildlife here in Arizona. As we human beings start populating certain areas of this state, we start taking the resources that these 200-something species need that are dependent on. There are certain species that will travel at least 20 to 30 miles just to get a drink of water. And a lot of times they don't make it. They end up dying. And that is where Dan and Wildlife Waterworks steps in. And I had the great pleasure to actually spend time with Dan, capture his story and his passion for providing water to the wildlife here in the beautiful state of Arizona. Dan, he's up there and he's not gonna be around forever. And he's looking at opportunities to bring up the next generation of people that are really passionate about the wildlife and providing them water for that delicate ecosystem that's here in the desert of Arizona. And that brings me to the third point, is reflecting on the situation that happened to my front yard and how impactful that was. Here's the thing. The state of Arizona is going through what they call a mega drought. The whole Southwest. It's not just a couple bad years. It is a couple decades that this whole drought thing has been happening to the Southwest. Arizona's rivers and streams don't flow all year long anymore. Funny thing is, me fixing that busted pipe made me feel victorious. But knowing what Dan's doing out there to help the survival of thousands of animals it just sits a little different on my heart. So I highly encourage you guys to go check out Dan and Wildlife Waterworks and see what that cause is doing to this community, to this state, and how important it is. And with that being said, I will catch you on the next one.